Governor J.B. Pritzker set to testify in front of a U.S. House committee this week, and you've got the headlines of what's going on in Los Angeles dominating, obviously, all throughout the weekend. It is Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and wake up with us each and every weekday morning. So a lot of headlines about what's going on in L.A. With protesters showing up to where ICE was conducting some immigration detail, and they were protesting, getting in the way, and ultimately having some I guess you could call riotous behavior in the streets, and the National Guard being called out, all of this developing over the weekend and making for some pretty tough to watch video, law enforcement deploying all kinds of they call it non-lethal munitions, from bangs to paintballs and so on. So it's something that is playing out right now, and the governor of California pushing back, saying that Trump getting the National Guard involved only is going to amplify things. So where are we at in all of this? Governor J.B. Pritzker was asked about this. Not particularly what happened in L.A. over the weekend, but what happened last week in Chicago, where you had similar types of, at least initially, clashes between federal immigration authorities and local protesters in Chicago, and then local police had to get involved to keep the peace so that the federal agents could do what they needed to do. And some were questioning, well, if local police are helping in Chicago to keep the peace on the streets so federal agents can conduct their federal immigration enforcement, is that a violation of Illinois' Trust Act, of Illinois' Way Forward Act? The governor was asked about this Thursday at a unrelated event, and here's what he had to say on that issue.
The Chicago police followed the law. Whenever they're engaged in, when ICE is engaged in raids like this, if there's a situation where there is a court-ordered warrant for somebody's arrest, then it is absolutely appropriate for police to be engaged. If there's not a court-ordered warrant, then it isn't. But those are the rules in the state of Illinois. We've always followed the law. We've tried to make sure that our police are focused on deterring violent crime and not engaged in kind of administrative deportation proceedings like the ones that ICE are now turning into something criminal.
And I just realized you didn't see the governor saying that. You saw the folder with all my videos, no sweat. Because the governor was asked again about the issue of protesters seemingly getting involved in trying to disrupt ICE agents in Chicago. But the governor saying that, we've got the Trust Act and the Way Forward Act.
Certainly inappropriate. And I mean, anybody could see that. Yeah, I think anybody who watched the videos could see that. And even there were bystanders who were protesting, not interfering, but simply protesting and expressing their First Amendment rights and freedoms. And yet those ICE officers were pushing people out of the way in a fashion that I don't think any of us think is right. And I have to say they overstep constantly, one time after another, at the federal level, and I think they need to make sure that they're following the law just like we do.
Again, this was late last week. This was the governor being asked about what happened in Chicago. Again, I want to make clear, this is from late last week, before whatever happened in L.A. Transpired. So it's an ongoing issue in L.A., and I imagine the governor, he doesn't have an event scheduled today, but if he has one tomorrow, he's going to be asked about what happened in L.A.
Look, I've been asked.
But he's also preparing to go to Congress to testify in front of the House committee about the state's sanctuary policies. And the governor was asked late last week what that's going to be like and how he's going to address what could be political theater.
Look, I've been asked to speak to the committee. I'm happy to go do so. I'm happy to tell them how we here in Illinois have laws on the books that are a result, by the way, of their failure in Washington to deal with comprehensive immigration reform, to have immigration laws that are appropriate for letting people in who will work for a living, who will follow the law, and so on. We have many people who are in the United States today who may not have the proper documentation, but they've been here for decades, following the law. They're good neighbors. They're good people. We need immigration laws that allow for those people to stay and for violent criminals to be thrown out.
Last one, guys.
I think it depends on the questions that they ask. Certainly, I'm not there to lecture to them. I'm there to take questions from them and respond to them. Presumably, the theory is that they're having this hearing because they'd like to learn more about what we're doing in the States. I think there may be members on that committee who are simply there for a dog and pony show, who simply want to grandstand in front of the cameras. I hope not. That's inappropriate. And I'm going there in a serious matter to give them my views about how we're managing through a problem that's been created for the states by the federal government.
Well, the federal government under the Biden administration had, of course, millions of people cross over the border illegally. Some argue, others say, hey, they were asylum seekers, but they didn't go through the ports of entry. Is that going to be part of this overall conversation? We'll be watching what happens when the governor goes to testify in front of Congress later on this week. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of fireworks there. He's not the only one speaking. You've got the governors of a couple of other sanctuary states that are going to be testifying as well. So lots of back and forth expected. It is Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and wake up with us each and every weekday morning as we bring you the latest to know in the land of Lincoln.